Hello students, welcome to video lecture on multiple choice questions. In this lecture, I am going to discuss multiple choice questions on classical mechanics in general and motion in central force field in particular. In earlier lecture, we have seen MCQs on system of particles. Now we will go to motion in central force field. Now what is meaning of central force field? So suppose body it is moving in two-dimensional plane. Suppose this is xy axis, and suppose body it is moving along some curved path, body of mass m. So suppose we take any point here. If body is here, now force it is directed towards some center. So this is center, force is directed towards that center. So if we come here, force is directed towards center. So that force is called central force. So suppose we take this as radius vector r, this is theta. So F it is function of r only. So force depends on distance only from the center and it is directed towards center, that is called central force field. Now if we take any point P, at that point P there is velocity tangential to the path, and acceleration. What is acceleration here at point P? So acceleration here it is r double dot minus r theta dot square into ER plus then what is the second part? Second part is r theta double dot plus 2r dot theta dot into E theta. This is acceleration. Now here what is ER and E theta? So ER it is unit vector along change in R, and E theta it is unit vector along. In central force field there is force always directed towards the center, so this acceleration will be equal to 0. This is called angular part, and this one is called radial part. So whatever force here that depends on r, and it is equal to mass into acceleration r double dot minus r theta dot square er. This is the force. So magnitude of force is m r double dot minus r theta dot square, and here r theta double dot plus 2r dot theta dot is equal to 0. Now here if we take this this equation and suppose we multiply this equation by r, we get r square theta double dot plus 2r dot into r theta dot, and let us multiply this by mass m, and this is also equal to 0. So this gives you d by dt of m r square theta dot, and this is equal to 0. So m r square theta dot is constant, and let us call this as L, and this is angular momentum. Angular momentum. So angular momentum is conserved in central force field. Now let us go to multiple choice questions. In the central force field or in the central force motion, the force is always directed towards fixed point. The force is not directed towards center. The force on particle does not depend on distance from the center. The force is tangential to the path always. Just we have seen here, force is always directed towards some fixed point, and it depends on distance between body and that point. So here the force is always directed towards fixed point. If Fr is the central force, then which of the following is true? Now, if Fr is the central force, it can be derived from negative gradient of the potential, and here potential means the potential in which that body is moving. So we get here del cross F is equal to 0. So this del cross F is equal to 0, and the force field here is conservative. So central force field is always conservative force field. In central force motion, the radial component of acceleration, just we have seen here, r double dot minus r theta dot square. So here if we see, this first one is not correct, second one is also not correct, third one is also not correct, this is correct, r double dot minus r theta dot square. What is r double dot? R double dot, it is d2 r by dt square, and theta dot, it is d theta by dt. In central force motion, the angular component of acceleration is, so it is r theta double dot plus 2 r dot theta dot, r theta double dot plus 2 r dot theta dot. This is angular component of acceleration. So this first one is not correct, second one is correct, third one is not correct, fourth one is correct, not correct. So here B is correct. Now the angular momentum in central force field. Now we have just seen this one is 0. If we multiply it by mr, so we'll get mr square theta double dot plus 2mr r dot theta dot is equal to 0. So we can write this as d by dt of m r square theta dot. This is equal to 0. So if we take derivative of m r square theta dot, we will get this one. So here, so m r square theta dot is equal to constant, and that is called L, angular momentum. So m r square theta dot. So here this is not correct, this is not correct, this C is correct, and this last one is not correct. Now we'll go to next one. The energy in central force field motion is given as. Now we have seen here, force is F is equal to m r double dot minus r theta dot square. From this you can find energy. Now how can we find energy? So simply we know m r double dot minus m r theta dot square is equal to f of r, and if we suppose write this, m r double dot is equal to f of r plus m r theta dot square, and if we integrate this, then we will get what means here, we can write simply. So if we m r double dot multiply by r dot is equal to, now here you can take means here m r double dot, you can take minus dv by dr, this one, plus m r theta dot square, and then you can write m r double dot is equal to minus d by dr of, now this one, so you can write this as L square upon 2m r square plus v, because you can put theta dot is equal to L upon m r square, mr square. So here, and this one we can write, so if we multiply m r double dot into r dot is equal to minus d by dr of L square upon 2m r square plus v into r dot. And if we find this, from this you will get d by dt of 1/2 m r dot square plus L square upon 2m r square plus v whole is equal to 0. And from this we will get 1/2 m r dot square plus L square upon 2m r square plus v is equal to constant. And see, dimensionally this is 1/2 mass into velocity square, this is potential energy, so this is energy E, this is energy E. So E is mr dot m 1/2 m r dot square plus L square upon 2m r square plus potential energy. So out of this first one is correct and others are different ones, so they are not correct. So in this way you can obtain energy. And now that energy is also constant, so angular momentum is constant, energy is constant. In the central force field motion. Now the effective potential in central force field. Now here we have seen E, generally we can write total energy. E is kinetic energy plus potential energy. Now if we see this E, so E is equal to 1/2 m r dot square, this is kinetic energy, plus whatever energy remaining, that is potential energy, so L square upon 2m r square plus v. V is potential energy in which that particle is moving. So we get here additional term due to motion. So this whole term, it is called effective potential, V dash. So we can write this as 1/2 m r dot square plus V dash. V dash is effective potential. So here 1/2 m r plus V dash. So V dash is L square upon 2m r square plus V. So here out of these four, this one is correct. L square upon 2m r square plus V. Now if F of r is the central force, then which one of the following is true for central motion? Just we have seen, in central force field motion, energy is conserved. The angular momentum is conserved. M r square theta dot is equal to L, and this is also constant. This is also constant. Aerial velocity is constant. What is meaning of aerial velocity? So suppose this is center and particle is moving along curved path, and suppose initially it is at this point, then it goes to this point. So this is area swept, area dA. Now suppose this is r and this is r plus dr. This angle is theta, means here this angle is suppose d theta. Then we can find, and suppose particle goes from this to this in time dt, so here this one is r d theta and this is r, so area dA, it is r into r d theta. So dA it is equal to r square d theta. Actually it is a one half for triangular, so 1/2, and dA by dt, so we can write here d theta by dt, and so it is 1/2 r square theta dot. So it comes out to be L upon 2m. So this is equal to constant. So aerial velocity is also constant. Area swept by radius vector per unit time, that is called aerial velocity, that is also constant in the central force field motion. So all of the above are correct in this question. Now next one, for attractive central force F of r is equal to minus kr square, the effective potential energy with different total energies is shown in figure below. Means we know effective potential is what? V dash is equal to V plus L square upon 2mr square, and suppose F of r is equal to minus k by r square, and we have dV by dr with minus sign is equal to F, then we get here V is equal to minus k by r plus L square upon 2mr square. So this second contribution, it is due to angular momentum, and first it is potential. So this effective potential, if we plot with distance, you will get graph like this. Actually you will have graph, this is graph for L square upon 2mr square, and here this is graph for minus k by r. So suppose this is center, and suppose this is particle of mass m, it is approaching center with energy E1 that is greater than 0, means this point. If it approaches with energy E2 equal to 0, then here we get this point, here we get this point. Now if energy is negative but greater than minimum of this effective potential and less than 0, and E4 that is V minimum. So these are 4 possibilities. So if E1 is greater than 0 and with that energy particle approaches, then what happens? It moves like this. It moves like this, and this one is hyperbola. So when for energy E1 greater than 0, the orbit of the particle will be hyperbola. Now see the potential curve in question 9, this potential curve. So I will remove this. The path will be parabolic when? So when we have center O and particle approaches the center, this particle of mass m approaches the center and its energy is suppose 0, then what happens? Path particle will come and go like this. This motion is parabolic motion, parabolic path. So here this one, so it has only one closest point, only one closest point. So motion is parabolic motion when E is equal to 0. Energy of the particle is equal to 0. Now next one, see the potential energy curve in question 9. The path for V dash minimum is less than E, less than 0. So this case, so here it is bounded motion, it has two turning points. So what happens? It will move like this. So from the center it will have two turning points, R1 and second one is at R2, and the motion has path that is elliptical path, So here for this case the path is elliptical path, and planets satisfy this motion. And when E equal to means this, when we have this case, then we have circular path. So for E equal to 0 we have parabola, for E greater than 0 we have hyperbola, for this is we have ellipse, means elliptical path, and so on. So that path is decided by energy of the particle, whether it is greater than 0, whether equal to 0, or whether it is less than 0. So when energy is negative, the motion is bounded motion. When energy is positive, greater than 0 or equal to 0, the motion is unbounded motion. Now let us go to this. For attractive central force, F of r is equal to minus k upon r. The equation of orbit is. So here we solve this equation. d2u by d theta square plus u is equal to, now we take minus m upon L square u square into f of 1 by u. What is u? U is 1 upon r. Then we will use f of r, that is f of 1 by u is equal to minus ku square for this, and we will solve this. And when we solve this, we get equation. That equation is L upon R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. Now what is L? L, it is angular momentum L square upon mk. K is force constant, and E is equal to root of 1 plus 2E L square upon mk square. So this L is called, small l is called semi latus rectum, and E is called eccentricity of the orbit of particle in central force field motion. So L is called semi-latus rectum. For attractive central force, F of r is equal to minus k upon r square. the equation of orbit is given as L by R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta, where L is semi-latus rectum and its value is what? L is equal to L square upon mk. B, L is equal to L square upon mk square. C, L is equal to L square upon m square k square. And D, L is equal to capital L upon mk. So out of this, which one is correct? So out of this first one is correct. This first one is correct. Now next one. For attractive central force F of r is equal to minus k upon r square, the equation of orbit is given as L by r is equal to 1 plus E cos theta, where E is eccentricity, and it is given as, just we have seen, E is equal to eccentricity is equal to root of 1 plus 2E L square upon mk square, where k is force constant, this k. So out of this first one is not correct, second one is not correct, third, E is equal to root of 1 plus 2E L square upon mk square. So this is correct and this is not correct. Now orbit of the particle in central force field with this force F of r is equal to minus k upon r square is decided by energy, means it is also decided by eccentricity. Now we know E greater than 0, hyperbolic orbit, E equal to 0, parabolic, E less than 0 but greater than V dash minimum, we have elliptical orbit, and E equal to my V minimum, and that is negative. Minimum is, that is also negative. We have circular orbit. So using that energies, you can find E will be greater than 1, E will be equal to 1, E will be less than 1, and so on. So depending upon that, you will get orbit. So if means if we can make table eccentricity, energy, and orbit. So suppose E is greater than 1, means energy is also greater than 1, greater than 0, orbit is hyperbola. E is equal to 1 when energy is 0, just use in this equation. You will get parabola. Now E less than 1 but greater than 0, for E we have elliptical orbit, and for E means here for E equal to 0. What is E? E is equal to V minimum, and this is negative 1. We have circle. So here for attractive central force field F of r is equal to minus k upon r square, the equation of orbit is given as L upon r is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. The orbit will be parabolic if E is equal to 1, eccentricity is equal to 1. For attractive central force F of r is equal to minus k upon r square, The equation of orbit is given as L by R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. The orbit will be circle if E equal to 0. So E equal to 0, A is correct. For attractive central force, F of R is equal to minus K upon R square. The equation of orbit is given as L by R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. The orbit will be ellipse if. Now orbit will be ellipse when E is less than 1 but greater than 0. So here for this case orbit is ellipse. And next one, for attractive central force F of R is equal to minus K upon R square. The equation of orbit is given as L by R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. The orbit will be hyperbola if energy is greater than 0, eccentricity is also greater than 1. So this last option is correct, that is E greater than 1 is correct. Now next one, every planet moves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. So here sun and planet moves around elliptical orbit is here. Like this, I can take elliptical. So I will remove this. So here this is elliptical orbit and sun is located at one of the foci. Here sun is located, here another focus, and suppose planet, it moves around the sun, and this is distance between planet and sun. Every planet moves around the sun in an elliptical orbit with the sun located at one of the foci of the orbit. This is statement of Kepler's first law. Kepler's first law. Next one, the radius vector drawn from the sun to planet sweeps out equal area in equal interval of time. This statement of. Now what is meaning of this? Suppose in time dt, particle or that planet moves from this place to this place in time dt. So this is area swept. Suppose planet is here and in time dt, same time dt, if planet goes here, this is area swept. So if we take this area as dA1, this as dA2, you will observe that this dA1 by dt will be equal to dA2 by dt. So equal areas are swept in equal interval of time, and this is called Kepler's second law. This is called Kepler's second law. The radius vector drawn from the sun to planet sweeps out equal area in equal intervals of time. This is statement of Kepler's second law. Now if we suppose planets, suppose we start measuring time from this point A, it will go along this path, and suppose it takes time t for one complete revolution. If we give this one as XYZ coordinate system. This is semi major axis, this is semi minor. So if we measure time period t square, it is proportional to a cube, and this is called Kepler's third law. So the square of period of revolution of a planet is proportional to the cube of semi major axis of the ellipse. This is statement of not Kepler's first law, not Kepler's second law. This is statement of Kepler's third law. Kepler's third law. Now let us go to next one. If in a Kepler potential means V of R is equal to minus K by R, and force is attractive central force, and that is inverse square law. So this potential is called Kepler potential. The pericenter distance of parabolic orbit is RP, means here center, and this is parabolic orbit. Suppose we give coordinate system. Now this one is pericenter, O pericenter, and this distance, it is RP. So we take theta is equal to 0. Theta, angle made by radius vector with horizontal axis, it is 0. And next one is orbit is RP, while the radius of the circular orbit, means suppose we take another particle, it is moving along circular orbit, and this RC is radius with the same angular momentum RC, means angular momentum here and angular momentum here will be the same. So EL is same. So we have two situations, but angular momentums are same. So if in a Kepler potential, the pericenter distance of parabolic orbit is RP, while the radius of the circular orbit with the same angular momentum is RC, then we must have here is RC. Then RC is equal to 2RP, RC is equal to RP, 2RC is equal to RP, RC is equal to root 2 RP. Now here L upon R is equal to 1 plus E cos theta. This is equation for orbit. Now we know L is what? Semi-latus rectum. It is L square upon mk. Now L is same for both the orbits. So here small l is also same. So we can write L upon RP for ellipse. It is 1 plus E cos theta. But what is E for parabola? Parabola. So here 1 plus, for parabola it is 1. For parabola it is 1. And theta, it is 0 for this pericenter. So we get L upon RP is equal to 1 plus 1. Cos theta is 0, cos theta is 1. So we got 2. Now for circular orbit, we have L upon RC is equal to, now 1 plus 0 into cos theta, because E is 0 for circle. E is equal to 0 for circle. So we get L upon RC is equal to 1. So see, we have equations. L upon RP is equal to 2. So L is equal to 2 RP, and here L is equal to RC. So if we compare these two, because angular momentum is same, so we'll get RC is equal to 2 times RP. So RC is equal to 2 times RP. So RC is equal to 2 times RP. This one is correct. Now next one, a satellite moves around a planet in a circular orbit at a distance r from its center. The time period of revolution of the satellite is t. If the same satellite is taken to an orbit of radius 4r around the same planet, the time period will be. So here, suppose this is planet and this is orbit of satellite. So this orbit is r and its period of revolution is t, and we know, so t square is proportional to r cube. Now suppose same satellite is taken here, so radius, this total radius is 4r. So what is period for this 4r? So here I can take this new ts square, it is proportional to 4r cube. 4r is new radius. So proportionality constant will be same because planet is same. So we get this as r cube upon 4r cube. So here we can write here t upon ts square is equal to r 1 by 4 cube. So here t we can take here t upon ts is equal to 1 by 4 raised to 3 by 2. So t upon ts will be equal to 1 upon 4, its root is 1/2 raised to cube. So t upon ts will be equal to 1 by 8. So ts will be 8t. ts will be 8t. So new radius, new period will be 8t. Now next one, if A is semi-major axis of the elliptical orbit of planet around the sun and t is period of revolution, then t square is proportional to a cube, that is Kepler's third law. So D is correct. Here t is proportional to a cube, t cube is proportional to a square, t square is proportional to a raised to 5. These are all incorrect. T square is proportional to a cube. This is Kepler's third law. Now Kepler's second law is known as Kepler's second law is known as law of areas. Equal areas are swept in equal intervals of time. When two body problem of mass m1 and m2 is reduced to one body problem, then mass of the system is, means suppose we have two masses m1 and m2 and these are position vectors r2 r1 from center, then we can reduce this as single body problem with position vector r and mass m, and this mass m is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. This mass is also called reduced mass. So here this first one is correct, this is not correct, this is not correct, this is not correct. The distance between sun and earth is suddenly reduced to half of its present distance. What will be the duration of period? Now see here, present duration of period is t is equal to 365 days, and suppose present radius is means distance from the sun is r. So here present one is what means we can say so here this is center of R and T is period, so T square is proportional to R cube. Now nu Tn square is proportional to Rn cube, so T upon Tn square is equal to R upon Rn cube. Rn means suddenly reduced to half, so Rn is R by 2. Rn is R by 2. So T upon Tn cube, square will be equal to R upon R by 2. So it is 2, 3. So T upon Tn will be equal to 2 raised to 3 by 2. So Tn will be T upon 2 raised to 3 by 2. So Tn is equal to 365 upon 2 raised to 3 by 2. If you calculate this, you will get 129. So it is 129 days. 129 days. The point next one, I will remove this. The point of minimum distance on the Earth's orbit from the sun is called. So this is position of sun, and this is the minimum distance. This is called perigee. So the perigee. The point of maximum distance on the Earth's orbit from the sun is. So this maximum distance is this one. This distance, and this one it is called apogee. The period of revolution of geostationary satellite around the Earth is. The geostationary satellite has the period of revolution as that of period of rotation of Earth, that is 24 hours. So thanks very much. If you like my lecture, I request you to subscribe my channel as well as press like button. If you have any comment, you can give in comment box. Also forward this lecture to your friends so that they will get benefit of these multiple choice questions. So thanks again. Thanks very much.